brought me this joyous occasion as the honor of one of our own, Mr. Emmitt Smith. Please be seated. This is truly a special day for Escambia High School and our community. I was a young coach at Woodham High School in the fall of 1986. It was our first game of the season and the first game of my career at that time. And we were playing the Escambia High School Gators here in the bowl. The Woodham Titans had one job to accomplish that hot and humid Friday night to have any chance of winning the game, and that was to stop Emmitt Smith. Needless to say, the Woodham Titans could not stop or even slow down Emmitt Smith, and the Gators were victorious. As I look back now at all the years I coached as an assistant and head football coach, I take pride in knowing that Emmitt Smith could not be stopped at the high school level, the collegiate level, or the professional level in the NFL. Nobody found what that formula was to be. So the truth is, nobody stopped him. Emmitt Smith possesses the strongest discipline, work ethic, character, and mental and physical toughness that is humanly possible. He's indeed the most accomplished football player I've ever seen. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce you to David Seconder from Allstate Insurance.
Good afternoon. Allstate is very excited to partner with Pro Hall Football, plan to keep alive and protect the hometown legacy of Pro Football's greatest players through the Hometown Hall of Fame. Today I couldn't be more privileged to recognize Pro Football Hall of Fame member Emmitt Smith as a hometown plaque recipient here in the city of Pensacola.
I am pleased and honored that Emmitt Smith chose Escambia High School to be the recipient of the piece of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Today is about you. It's about Emmitt Smith honoring his hometown and the roots of his great career. Emmitt did not get to the Hall of Fame solely because of how well he played the game of football, but also how well he played the game of life. The mission of the Pro Football Hall of Fame is to preserve, promote, educate, and honor the sport of football. And by giving you this plaque today, we fulfill our mission. This plaque could be placed in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but with your willingness to accept and place this plaque in your high school, today, Escambia High School becomes only the 77th school in the entire country to be an official extension of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This plaque is now yours, and we hope that it will inspire each of you to be a Hall of Famer in anything that you choose to pursue. And now, here to introduce Emmitt Smith, please welcome his high school coach and longtime friend, Nichols.
I want to shout out to Willie Spears, the head football coach. I want to congratulate him. I first met Emmitt when he was 14 years old. fall practice, he came over as a freshman. And he was unbelievable. He was the best we had. So at the time, I was the offensive coordinator, and I went to our head coach, Dwight Thomas. I said, Coach, what are we going to do with him? He said, he's going to be on the freshman team, and no freshman plays for me. I said, Coach, he's the best I got. He said, Coach, no freshman plays for me. I said, well, let's do this. Let me have you for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, we'll make a decision. He said, okay, I'll do that. So at the end of 2 weeks, I went to Coach Thomas's office. I said, Coach Thomas, what are we going to do about him? He said, he's going to start tailback. What do you mean? So that tells you how good he was at that young age. He is a great person. He's a great player. We all know that. But more than anything else, he's a team player. And today, what you see on TV is me, me, me. That's not Emmitt Smith. Every time he's ever been interviewed, he never talks about himself or his accomplishments. He's always about his teammates. Because he knew that without his teammates, he wouldn't have been able to do any of those things. One of the things that brought that to our attention was the first time he scored a touchdown, he kind of acted up a little bit. Well, his dad told him, son, we're not doing that. Don't you act like you've been there before. So to help with that process, what we said was, when we score, the entire team go to the end zone, and we'll congratulate each other, because all of us had a part in it. So if you look throughout his career, high school, college, and pros, you never saw him celebrate in the end zone as you see some players do today. But the thing I'm most proud of is the person he is. I mean, he's like a son to me. I mean, I love him just like my son. When I was here as a coach, we had one rule, and that's all we had. Do what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, where you're supposed to be doing it. And that covers everything. And he did that 100%. So at this time, I introduce you your Gator. He's still a Gator. I don't care what he says. He played for the Cowboys. He's still a Gator. Emmitt Smith.
That surround us, reach for the sky. Y'all remember that? Excellent. First of all, let me just say it's truly an honor for me to be back here at Escambia High School. The things that I've learned from this community, from this high school, the people in this area, fathers and mothers that I've had throughout my entire career, throughout my entire life, I thank you all for giving me the tools that I needed to go off and become the man that I have become. It is the credit of every one of you guys, Jimmy Nichols, Pat, my mom and dad, Coach Norman Ross, who encouraged me to leave basketball alone and go play football. It's those decisions that Coach Nichols was talking about that has helped me go on and do the things that I've been able to do in football, as well as the things I'm doing right now. Coach Nick talked about no me, no I, and team. I have to tell you this one story. The very first game we played against Catholic High School, I had 100-some odd yards, scored a couple touchdowns, we win the game. And Dwight was one of those coaches that never really allowed us to really talk to the media. Well, this particular day, he said, okay, I'm gonna give you a shot. And as a young man, I never really had the experience of dealing with media. And they have the tendency to start asking questions or start making statements, making it feel like it's you, it's you, it's you. Well, Emmitt, you had a great game. Emmitt, you rushed for 100 yards. Emmitt, you scored 2 touchdowns. Emmitt, how was you able to do this and that? And I kept saying, well, I was doing this, and I did that, and I. Coach Thomas sat behind. He didn't say nothing at the time. But after the interview was over, he pulled me to the side. He said, listen, every chance you get, you thank all of those guys up front. Those 5 guys created the running lanes for you to run. Your quarterback threw the ball and kept the eighth man out of the box. So every time you get a chance, don't ever forget that you did not do it all by yourself. So fast forward to Monday. We having our practice, and we having a team drill, and I'm lined up in the backfield like I normally would. They snap the ball, they hand the ball to me, and guess what? My offensive lineman just laid down, and the defense clobbered me. I got up saying to myself, Coach, I understand. And from that point on, I made it a point not only to acknowledge the help and the people who had created those opportunities for me, but to make sure that they are known and let the public know that it's not about me. All the success that you see on that football field, yes, I have a talent, I have a role within it. But if it wasn't for Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and that great offensive line that I had, let alone North Turner and Jimmy Johnson setting structure in place for us to follow, a lot of the success that you see me do on the football field probably would not have happened. Now, my message to you guys is this. These are rare moments when you get a chance to have a one-on-one conversation or a conversation like this with someone who have been at the pinnacle can come back and deliver a message for you. I want you to know this is not reserved for the elite. Everybody in this room have an opportunity to have a chance to become the best you that you can possibly become. It's up to you. The teacher's going to do their job, but you got to do your job. Others will quickly tell you what you cannot do. But if you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride, you can achieve anything in this great nation that we call America that you want to achieve. But it's up to you. No one is going to lay down for you. And to your football team, I just want to thank you guys for bringing back that tradition of winning. Now, granted, before we got here, Jimmy can tell you, Norm Ross can tell you, some of these teachers can tell you, this was not the most pleasant place to be. I'm going to just be real and honest with you. There was a divide down the middle. Blacks on one side and whites on the other. But Dwight Thomas made it a point to bring everything together. And you football players have a chance to do that because you understand it. When you look at your football team, you don't see black, you don't see white, you see one team. One team with one goal and one mission in mind, and that is to win the game. But most importantly, you see your brother to the right and your brother to the left, and they don't have a color because we all believe the same blood. And we all are destined. Some of you have a chance to go places that others may not. My mom and my wife told me, everybody can't go where you're going. That means you have to drop some folks off. Extra baggage, there's nowhere to travel when the baggage is too heavy. Learn to let it go. And learn to be courageous, even if you have to stand out on that aisle by yourself sometimes. It's tough to make the hardest decisions. Those sacrifices that you're making during the off season, during the summer, and during your training camp, your tour days and your 3 days, those sacrifices, you are out there laying it on the line for yourself, for the school, for your teammates, and for your families. Take advantage of that skill set that God has blessed you with. It is a vehicle to carry you only so far, but your education will carry you even further. But take advantage of it. But now, I'm more excited about what God and the possibilities of what my career could be like beyond the game of football. All thanks to a guy named Charlie Yeager, who opened my mind up to entrepreneurship when I was 12 years old. And right now, thanks to Roger Staubach and many other mentors, like I said, surrogate fathers and mothers, who have shown me that I can do more with my mind than I could ever do with my body. Because my body will quit, but my mind will remain strong. Trent Richardson right now, great friend, I'm supporting him. This city has produced some of the best talent that the world has ever seen. Roy Jones Jr., Derrick Brooks, Jerry Payton, and many, many others. You're next. You are next. The doors of opportunities have been opened, and the light is shining on this city. You be prepared for your opportunity. Thank you guys for having me here today. What was it like to be on Dance with the Stars? It was nerve-wracking at first because, you know, being an athlete and knowing how to play the game of football and then transitioning over to a television show like Dance with the Stars and not really understanding that people can laugh at you, really, poke fun at you. It's kind of nervous a little bit, but I had a great time. But I took the same work ethic from the sport and from the game of football into the dancing arena. I had a great time on Dance with the Stars, and I'll do it again if they ask me to come back. What was it like to win the Super Bowl? You know what? Here at Escambia, we won 2 state championships back to back. And to go to the Super Bowl and to play in the biggest game of my entire career, knowing that the other team over there has a chance to win just like we do, but knowing the fact that we felt in our heart that we were better, we had to just go out there and prove it. It was an unbelievable experience. Unbelievable. But what made it even better, Jimmy, Miss Nick, my mom, my best friend, all of them were sitting up in the stands watching me play in the biggest game of my entire life. That was a wonderful feeling. My favorite memory at Escambia High School. We talked about this a little bit ago. Back in '86, '85 season, Escambia was 3A and Pensacola Woodham was 4A. And we both had won the state championship that year. Now fast forward to '86, we get ready to start our '86 season. And the very first game on the schedule that year was the defending 3A state champions and the defending 4A state champions over at Woodham High School. And Woodham was rated in the top 10 in the nation, and so were we. It was an amazing moment. That's my first glimpse of what the Super Bowl could be like. Because the city itself, they moved some games from Friday night to Thursday night. And there were approximately 15,000 to 20,000 people packed in that Woodham Stadium. Standing room only. And we ended up winning that game by Allen Ward 51-yard field goal. That was an ultimate memory for me. And we went on to win our second state championship that year too. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I want to thank the Pro Football Hall of Fame and Allstate Insurance for bringing this presentation to our school today. And also I want to thank Coach Nichols' comments as well. We appreciate you being here, sir. More importantly, I want to thank Mr. Emmitt Smith, his family, and his friends for allowing Escambia High School to be a part of this exciting event today. Mr. Smith, you'll always have the key to Escambia High School, sir. You're always welcome here. I know that I speak for all of Escambia High School when I say, Mr. Emmitt Smith, we are very proud of you. It's an honor and a privilege to talk to you.